Paul identifies the gospel as he preaches, verse 16, the gospel of Christ. Therefore, it's not the gospel of man or the gospel partnership between Christ and man. Paul said in 1 Corinthians chapter 15, verses 3 to 4, "For I delivered unto you, first of all, that which also I received, how that Christ died for our sins, according to the Scriptures, and that he was buried, and that he rose again the third day, according to the Scriptures." You see, the gospel, the good news, centers upon what Christ has done and what Christ does for sinners, not what sinners do for Christ. The substance of the gospel is not a halfway gospel where Christ and the sinner give 50% each. There's no bargaining. There's no little bit of halfway. The gospel is not a joint account. The gospel is not even Christ doing 99% of the work and leaving 1% for man. There's no mixture of faith and human effort. Rather, the gospel centers upon all that Christ has earned for the salvation of guilty sinners. That's why Paul said, Galatians chapter 2, verse 16, we'll look at this later on, a man is not justified or pardoned or forgiven by the works, the efforts of the law, but by the faith of Jesus Christ. That's what drove Martin Luther. Because he said this, Martin Luther, I must listen to the gospel. It tells me not what I must do, but what Jesus Christ, the Son of God, hath done for me. That's the gospel. It's not what you do or how much you do for Christ, but what Christ has done for you. The gospel does not depend upon me doing something for Christ, but what Christ has done for me. And therefore, men and women, that's the substance of the gospel. It's all to do with Jesus Christ.